Tonight we continue our trek through the back roads of America. Tonight's stop, the Depot East Bar in Hammond, Illinois, where we sit down with singer-songwriter Jason Waldrop. This is Clubhouse Lounge Radio's Backroads and Barstools.
Welcome, everybody, to the newest edition of Backroads and Barstools. Keith Gibson here with Clubhouse Lounge Radio, and with me tonight is a singer-songwriter right from here in Hammond, Illinois. I got Jason Waldrop. Jason, welcome, and thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You've been playing you got some great music, man. I've heard some of your stuff. You're bluesy, you got your little rock. You play a little bit of everything. How did you get into all this?
I just grew up kind of a kid that listened to rock when growing up. I was classic kind of Led Zeppelin, Doors, Pink Floyd kind of kid. And then the older I got into Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I mean, you'd be amazed if you went through my playlist on my phone. There's so much different stuff. I mean, I listen to heavy metal and play metal, and I can't decide on a day to day what I want to do.
That's all right. That's all right. What kind of stuff have you got out there now?
Right now, I have a CD that's called Split Personality that I released 2 years ago, and I'm currently working on another one, and I'm trying to help my buddies record and get some of their stuff out there. But in the meantime, when I get off work and have a free hour or so, I go and jam, in my studio, and if something pops up, I'll record it, and if not, I'll kick it to the side and move on.
Well, we're thankful that we get to be here at the Depot East here in Hammond, and formerly the Hammond Pub. But we thank them for allowing us to be here tonight. You're from Hammond,
Yep,
right here, and you said you've been here for how long?
Since '95.
Oh, it's been a while,
A long time.
But no, great place down here, and very, a lot of room, pool tables, great drinks. So make sure you stop down here sometime and give them some business too. But let's talk about your album. I've listened to the whole thing. You said there's some stories behind it too, right?
Yep.
Okay. Big Bad Wolf's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So where? And this is all you have written, and where do you get inspiration from?
It'll hit me. I mean, it just depends on kind of what mood I'm in, what I'm actually going to play, or if something inspired me. Because like I've listened to Tyler Childers and those guys that are up and coming or whatever that are getting bigger and bigger. But they might spark something, and then I'll just be like, I'm going to go home and play acoustic today, or whatever. And the Split Personality CD that's why I called it Split Personality, because about the first 5 songs are more bluesy based, and then the rest of the CD is more acoustic based. So and I started getting better recording myself because I was just starting out in the beginning, and then the more I got into it, you can kind of tell as the CD progresses, my recording habits started getting a little better.
We all do that.
Sound quality,
we all do that.
Sound quality got a little better as it went on, but like you said, Big Bad Wolf was just more like a hot rod rockabilly type, because I like hot rods. I've got a couple, and that stuff I like to listen to. So it was like, that's something I wanted to put out, so everybody would enjoy it.
So the cover, if you haven't seen the cover, we'll get the cover out to you here at the end of the show and show it to you. We'll play a couple songs as well, so you can hear it as well. But the cover has a hot rod on it. Is that your car?
Yeah, that's my car. It's a 56 Bel Air Gasser.
That's badass car.
Thanks. And I built that.
Did you really?
Yeah, that's mine. That's
awesome. That's awesome. It is a classic, and it's I saw. I'm like, oh, okay.
We were trying to come up with a cover, and I'm like, well, I'll just put my car on there, put on a hat, and I take a Suitcase Drums that I build, and I put that in there. You can actually see that on the cover, and I play that Suitcase whenever I go out, and it's triggered. I've got a drum processor that I wired into it, and I've got a bass and a snare. I've even incorporated a cymbal off of another kick pedal now that I use, and like it's wild. Like with cigar box stuff, like there's a couple songs that are just cigar box, and then let's see, Cajun Queen was actually done with a 3-string shovel guitar, so that I have an actual shovel that's made into a guitar. So that whole song is Cajun Queen. And then that's the hit, like when I go out, like once that people see that, and it's more of that street performer kind of, vibe to it or whatever, it gets a hit. Like there'll be people that'll just stick around the end of the show just to see that. And they're like, what is that guy going to do with that, that shovel?
That's crazy. That's crazy. You said before we came on air and sat down, you said you had 21 guitars.
Yeah.
That's a lot of guitars.
Yeah.
What kind of guitars do we have? We have a little bit of everything.
Everything. I've got from Fender Strats to Tellys to dime, Explorers. I've got 12-string, 6-string, pedal steel guitars, banjos. I mean, I'm chock full of stuff. It looks like a guitar shop in my studio.
So it's all right. You play guitars. I like bobbleheads, so I understand that. I'm a bobblehead collector. So, but that's awesome. So, what kind of shows have we done lately?
Not lately. Ever since COVID hit, I kind of dipped off and wasn't getting out much because there wasn't a lot of people coming out either.
Right.
So, and then I've done more online stuff, and then even trying to help out my friends here and there when I have time. Because like with my son being in every sport there is, it takes up quite a bit of time for me, and I enjoy that too. And it's like, and I've always been kind of a family first type person, and I don't want to be on the road, and running around. But when I do it, it's like a relief when I'm done. It's like I'm nervous at first, and then when I'm done, it's like, oh, good, like move on.
What's some of the favorite places you've played?
Oh, I'd probably say the Vault in Tuscola is one of them. My buddy Marty hooked me up with that, and they're good people over there too. They've got a studio. There's a lot of guys around here that I know that play, and a lot of stuff was open mics, and but one of them I remember real well was in Muhammad, and playing it. I think I can't mess the name, but I think it's Millie's. I'm not sure, but like they've got that was 3 years ago, so it's hard to remember the name of it, but the guy that worked there was great. The people that were there, as soon as I started kicking on that suitcase drum, were clapping along with me.
That's awesome.
They're screaming and hooting and hollering, and that was a good show. Like I got a kick out of the way people reacted to that. So it was fun.
As a performer, does it help you when you have a crowd like that? Like when they kind of get into
sometimes. Because there was one part of one song when they're clapping, and their clapping threw me off. It wasn't on beat with me. And it's almost like I want to be like, hey, like you messed me up.
We're here with Jason Waldrop, singer-songwriter, split personality, great album. Definitely want to pick it up. In fact, Jason was nice enough to give us some, and we're going to give a couple of those out here as part of a promotion here tonight, and maybe another one tomorrow or something like that. But tell us what else, what drives you every day to pick up a different guitar or different instrument, or what keeps you going?
I don't know. I mean, my dad kind of introduced me to music and everything at an early age. So there was a lot of influence from him and trying to show off and be like, hey, Dad, check this out, every now and then. And just the older I got, it was kind of, especially with the internet and Facebook and all that, it's so right now. I mean, I can pretty much just turn on a camera and plug in and record a song and have it on Facebook in minutes, so it's different now than what it ever was before. And whether people like it or not, I kind of go by likes, or if people comment or whatever, if I'll say, should I keep this one or get rid of it, and just kind of throw that out there. And then I'll if I keep it, I'll add to it or scrap it, and I don't know. I try to do things that make me happy with it and just play from feeling. Right. There's some songs on there like Heaven Ain't Here for Me on my CD that's got a couple lines in there about my brother. And there's a few references like from Appalachian mountains, like, going back down there and where my family's from, North Carolina. So my uncle, when I sent him the CD, he lives in Gastonia, North Carolina. So he would hear those songs and be like, you're talking about me. And I'm like, yeah, I am. So he'll call me and be like, hey, when are you going to write me another song?
That's awesome. So you say you're in North Carolina. What brought you here?
My family's actually North Carolina. I was born in Decatur, so we lived in Decatur until '95, and then I came here. But my dad actually moved here or to Decatur in the '70s, and then my mom came over. So they were kind of pen pals, and cool little love story behind them.
That's awesome.
Because when he moved here, it was like, hey, bring Chad, and I'll take care of you. Moved to Illinois, and here we are.
So what do you see on the horizon? Where do you see music going here? Here at Clubhouse Lounge Radio, we want to promote guys like you, guys like who love music, and it's not just mainstream. And that's the biggest part of what we do at Clubhouse Lounge Radio. And I know it's a very tight knit group of you guys perform. What makes that so special?
Just the camaraderie too. I mean, between friends. And there's so many people that I played with over the years growing up that were even local guys. I mean, Danny Arnett from Shovelhead, we used to play in his garage, you know, growing up, and my high school buddies, you know, would be like, hey, want to come over and jam at my dad's house, you know? And that kind of kicked off a band with guys I went to school with, and then just guys I used to work with. There was people at ADM that played. There was actually a guy one time, I can't remember his last name, but his name was Casey. And I was a welder pipe fitter right out of high school. And he kept talking to me about, we were talking about playing guitar and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking he's a regular guy, you know, whatever, you know, everybody plays guitar. And one day he's like, yeah, I'll come over, we'll jam. And we're at my parents' house. I mean, I was still living there out of high school. So I'm like, yeah, come over, you know, check it out. This dude was playing like he was Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mean, he was just lick after lick. And I'm sitting on the edge of my bed like, whoa, like you're way better than I thought you would be.
So you guys play together. What's one of your favorite, like, do you like open mic nights?
Yeah.
Where you guys can just all get together and just kind of jam?
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot, like I said, with West End and B Mint was a big kickstart for that, because I met Jack Daniel, Blake Carson were putting it on then. Denny Ellis was coming from Tuscola and he was helping out. And then Lee Ewers would show up, and then we would go from there into just like, okay, we're going to play this night. So I opened up for Joe Asselin, and there was a lot of, you know, guys I just kind of like David Woolridge that were coming in, and guys I never met before that, you know, that were influencing me, because it was like, well, I like what they're doing.
Right.
I want to try to do that. And then that, you know, that was kind of where a lot of it kicked off, was just being friends and hanging out and having a good time, and no pressure on an open mic. You just show up, you do your thing. And if you play, you play. If not, you can sit back and watch some guy just like Joe Asselin just amaze you. You know, it's just like he's very good. If anybody had a chance to check him out.
So we're going to see you out and about here maybe in the next 6 months or so?
I hope so. I'd like to put out another CD soon, but maybe piggyback off of what I've been doing. And I've been debating on back and forth with, there's metal bands that have wanted me to play and sing with them and stuff. But I've been, I don't know, it's busy because I drive a plow truck for a living. So this time of year isn't the greatest for me, but like I try to get out.
Busy, though.
No, not yet. Not till this week, I think.
I think this week it's going to get a little rough, but Jason, we appreciate you joining us. We appreciate you, everything you do. You're very talented.
I appreciate that.
And make sure you check it out. Can they find you on Spotify too?
They can find me on any player.
Okay.
I'm even on Russian players. Like I'm worldwide.
Russian?
Yeah, I'm Japanese everywhere.
That's all right. So you can find them on Spotify. You can find them on Apple Music. You can find them absolutely anywhere, YouTube, or you can just go to chlradio.com. Make sure you go to the live stream page, and you can download and listen to the music there, as well as many of the friends. You know, Jack Daniel, we've got Jack on there, Woolridge, and Lee Ewers. Lee is going to do one of our Backroads and Barstools here coming up, along with Zach Tompkins. We've got them coming up, so very excited for that. We want to thank again the Depot East here in Hammond for allowing us to come down here this evening and getting together. So, Jason, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
We will see you next Wednesday night for another edition of Backroads and Barstools.
Going back to Gaston. Yeah, Gaston County. Gastonia, North Carolina. Going to see my cousin. And bail him out again. Against the better wishes of my Uncle Tim. going back to Gaston County to bail out my cousin. He got in some trouble with them big leg women. I said he got in some trouble with them big leg women. Anybody come looking, you can find me on Franklin Boulevard. Yeah, I'll be out there drag racing a brand new car. I said if anybody come looking, I'll be on Franklin Boulevard. Hey! I tell my ma and my pa I went to save Lamar. I ain't taking no train, I ain't taking no plane. I'm gonna drive myself insane. Going back to Gaston County, going back to North Carolina for him, against the better wishes of my Uncle Tim. I'm going back to Gaston, North Carolina.